This podcast is rated R for restricted. Under 17 requires accompanying parent or adult guardian. Mission 250.
Guys, it's Halloween month, guys. It's time for scary movies.
You sound like Adam Sandler.
I was trying to be scary. Hey, guys, you want to watch a movie with me and Rob Schneider?
Hey, God. Hey, Jenny.
Yeah, I'm excited. We're going to do 4 horror movies in a row. And this is
we're doing 4?
Yeah.
Holy
what?
shit.
We already talked about this. Why are you surprised?
Right. I don't know. I'm sorry. No, I want to renegotiate. Now that when
too
you
bad,
put it
John.
that way.
Too bad.
Oh, God.
It's October.
Whatever.
We're going to do it.
I mean, after this one, I'm sure John is loving it so far.
So we're doing 4 Halloween movies for the month of October here. So this week, TC is one of the few movies that he's seen and me and John haven't seen. TC's seen it multiple times.
Yeah, multiple times. And as I watched it again, I was like, why did I see this multiple times?
That's typical TC.
Yeah.
Don't even like your own stuff that you recommend.
No. It's not. That's not what I meant. But you know.
Okay.
So this week we're watching the movie Battle Royale. Was made in the year 2000, directed by Kinji Fukasaku. The synopsis is: 100 weaponless students airdrop from a battle bus that crosses a remote island. When they land, they must scavenge for weapons, items, resources, and even vehicles while trying to stay alive and to attack and eliminate the other players. Over the course of the round, the safe area may shrink the map size down due to an incoming toxic storm. Players outside the threshold take damage and can be eliminated if they fail to evacuate quickly. These forces remaining players into a tighter space. I thought this was shorter on paper. Tighter spaces and encourages player encounters. The last player, duo, or squad remaining is the winner.
Yeah.
We watched the Fortnite movie.
Just like Call of Duty.
Yeah.
It's just like Call of Duty.
It's Warzone.
Was it Player One's Battlegrounds was the first to do this?
In video game form.
Yeah, in video game form.
Yeah. This movie was made, and then the Hunger Games was made, and then a bunch of video games were made.
Yeah.
And still dominate the video game, Warzone's what all my players friends.
Hunger Games didn't have that. I don't think the Hunger Games did, not that I watched it carefully, although I'll admit I did watch it, that it had a shrinking
The second one
field.
did. It had danger zones. They had like floods and weird shit like that.
All right. I didn't know that.
But yeah, TC.
Yeah.
What'd you think? So you've seen this a bunch and you watched it again?
So I've seen it a bunch. Yeah, it was... Like I said, I don't know why I've watched this so many times.
I do.
It is just
because you're a sick fuck, TC.
It's
just like
I'm
me.
a sick fuck. It's because I'm a sick fuck. You're not the first to mention that. Realistically, it is pretty gnarly. It's a lot of blood. You can laugh. I laughed a lot during this because like the blood is so ridiculous, and like I love when they would shoot a kid and then like the kid's head would go back and like out with the blood from the neck, and it would just be like gushing blood. Like I'm like if I don't know, like it was under pressure, And there's just so many funny parts to this movie. I mean, they're gnarly too. They're kind of fucked up when you really come down to it. Like it's, what are they in high school
They're in like ninth grade, right?
Middle school, maybe.
Yeah.
Middle school kids just having to go out and kill each other. And like that little nugget of the 3, leftover transients that, play every year, is great. Like the crazy kid with the machine gun.
Is that a part of the rules? I'm still confused on why those people. I guess we can go into those later, but I had some questions.
I think that it just furthers the game along because it's 3 people that know how to play and they just like go and shoot people and kill people. Otherwise, I think it would be stagnating because the kids wouldn't do shit. They'd lump together. They'd have their flags.
Right.
They'd
But
say,
you couldn't have 3 every year from another one because only one person lives, right? So how do you get 3 from the last one? Anyway.
I don't know. I mean, the game's been going on for 20 years. Maybe they rotate the years.
Oh, maybe so. Yeah, maybe in that. I don't know. Yeah, there was some
don't you think if the
ends.
game's been going on for 20 years, that you'd be a little suspicious of the weekend of Battle Royale? You were going on a field trip to an unknown location? Like,
well, they don't tell
the
kids.
That's right.
They don't
tell you when it is. They don't pre-announce the weekend of when it happens.
Then how are you going to know to tune in on television to watch it?
Well, you don't tune in. Apparently, I don't think they have people tuning in to watch it. They show the outcome after it's happened.
Right.
Oh.
Right.
Well, then why do they want to keep it down to 3 days? Let it go.
But you would still think
that
you would know about it if they're covering it on the news like they did in the beginning, right?
Right.
So TC, can we do this? Can you quickly summarize the plot and say whether or not? because we're getting into the plot a little bit.
Okay,
I think
so
quick summary because I feel like a lot of
is,
people haven't seen this, right?
Yeah, summary of the plot is there's a fucked up game going on in fucking whatever this island is, where they send middle school kids to their death. I'm assuming because of population control, but I have no idea. It could just be other sick fucks in a room saying, "Hey, let's kill these kids."
Well, it's all because the kids are punks, right? The government thinks the kids are all punks.
These kids, it's like one classroom of kids, and they go to this island, and they have to basically kill each other off. And then that's pretty much the premise, really. I mean, and you just watch them die, sometimes one at a time, sometimes two or three at a time. And every time someone dies, they throw up a number of how many are left. And you just run through the gamut, and you just get to watch them all do it. There's people getting stabbed in the nuts. There's, people getting destroyed by machine guns. It's great. I think it's great. I think it's funny. I think that it's, some of them are pretty like, oh, you had a lot of those moments where you're watching it and you're just like, shit, I mean, I did a lot of that. That's pretty much the plot. There really isn't anything else to this movie. There's some like forced moments where like you're supposed to like think there's a story going on, but really all it is just people getting killed and blood spewing everywhere, which is why I can imagine that you had brought it up last time where it's the movie that Tarantino never made, right?
Yeah,
well,
because like there's just
movie.
a lot.
It's his favorite movie, and he wished he made it.
Yeah. It's like there's just so much blood that would totally be how he would show blood,
And I wonder if it's his favorite movie just because he wished he made it, not so much because it's like the best movie.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's like an amazing movie by any means. Like there's no.
I don't know. Is there anything else like
tough.
this?
There's nothing else like it, but there's definitely like it's not like cinema. I don't know.
Did you guys watch it subtitled or no?
Yeah, subtitled.
Subtitled.
Okay, because I had the one version I got on IMDb for a while with the interrupting
free advertising with the Coke Zeros.
Oh yeah,
no, John.
Yeah.
John, what are you doing?
Stop doing that.
What are you doing?
It's crazy. It was really awful. Well, actually, there wasn't an easy way to get it.
Buy the DVD.
Yeah, it's Prime. Just rent it there. I know.
Yeah.
I'd have to rent it. But yeah, it had the interrupting commercials.
I didn't even rent it.
But
I bought it.
I will say that so that version was only dubbed, and the dubbing was hilarious. It made it even seem more unreal and like it was all a commercial or something too. And so yeah, but the dub is actually almost kind of it makes it even more comedic and weird.
Yeah, I mean there were so many funny parts.
Yeah, I really got the tone
funny,
of the movie when they had the little like instruction video, and it was that the woman who was like with the peace signs and was like bobbing her head up and down.
Bobbing her head
Jesus
around
Christ.
like, hey, like all happy and shit, and everyone's about to die.
I was like, oh, here's the Tarantino thing where it just mixes genres in. I'm not going to take this seriously.
Yeah, you should.
Which is good, because if you do, you're probably going to have a pretty miserable time.
Yeah. I mean, it is just like I said, school kids fucking getting killed. That's all it is.
Yeah. But it seems okay because the situation is so unrealistic, right? And like, the violence looks cool, but it doesn't seem real, right?
I guess. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't seem real because like in what world does a whole group of kids like that killing each other?
Yeah, but there's also like some of the deaths, like the main spoilers for the movie, I guess. Watch the movie. How about that? Yeah. I think everyone should watch this if you can tolerate gore. I thought it was awesome.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, but there's a scene where like the guy gets like his eyes blown out from an explosion and they're all white and he's bleeding. He's still walking around like that wouldn't happen. The scene where they kill that really evil girl and she gets shot like 10 times and gets up each time afterwards and tries to like, all of that. I mean, it looks really cool, but there's no way any of that shit's happening.
Right.
Yeah.
Some of the Uzi stuff seemed kind of scarily realistic. Just like that. And then like 10 people fall.
Like, right. We're just peppering people with bullets.
Yeah. I was curious towards the beginning. It was like 41 left to go. I was like, whoa, we're already like 20 minutes in. How are they going to get 41 deaths in this movie? And I'm like, oh, they did it. They fucking did it.
Yeah. All of a sudden you're at 22 real quick. Yeah. It's, and then they had that little night, like a little funny story of like where the kids strike back and they hack the computers and then,
nothing came of it.
And nothing came of it
killed.
because dude just turns the fucking power off. He's like, fuck them. We'll get him this way. So, I mean, there's not much to this one, but it's definitely interesting and lots of blood spewing everywhere, and it's funny. I thought, I mean, like I was watching it again this time and just being like, why do I like this? You know, but like at the same time being like, oh, there they go again. There goes another one. There goes another one. You know. But anyways, that's about all I got.
I feel the same way, John. I feel like you're going to go negative. So can I go second here?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm not going to be. I don't know if I'm going to be that negative.
Okay. Yeah, this is the first time I've seen this movie. I guess I kind of got what I expected. Knowing that Tarantino was going to like it, I knew it was violent. I knew it was basically the Hunger Games, but R-rated. That's basically what it is. And it has the light tone that you kind of like, I don't know, that you would expect that Tarantino would like. You know, when you think of like the Hunger Games, it's super melodramatic. It's not very funny. It takes that world very seriously. It's a very serious sci-fi. This movie seems more like a satire comedy almost, but it also has that extreme violence. And it's weird because
the exact their poisoning is exactly the same poisoning as in The Hateful Eight. When the girl gets poisoned and it's like blah.
That girl's yellow jumpsuit with a sword was fucking Kill Bill. Like he stole that totally. Totally.
That's true.
Yeah.
And yeah, there was 100%
a lot of Kill Bill.
And there was some weird, like, there's just stuff where I was like, Tarantino probably saw that and thought, I wish I did that. Like at the end, where that the main older guy, like the ex-school teacher, gets shot a bunch, and then his phone rings, and he gets up and walks over.
He's
and
like normal.
I'm sitting there like, did he not get shot? Is he a fucking zombie? What the fuck is this? And I'm like kind of laughing it, but still like confused. And then he answers the phone and then fucking falls down and dies. I was like, holy shit, that's amazing.
Yeah, that was great, wasn't
it? Just to answer his phone. And they're like, the two kids are just looking at him like, didn't we just kill him?
Didn't we just shoot him?
Yeah. The two, the Sid Vicious bad guy was pretty sweet. Like he was kind of
he did his job well.
Yeah, he looked cool. He was scary-ish, even though like
both the Hiroki, is it the other one, the bad guy and the bad girl were both really well done. Really scary. I thought,
they were.
Like she was really creepy too.
When did she change from her skirt to the jean shorts and then back to the skirt? That confused me. I thought that was different characters.
Oh, I don't know.
I
wasn't following.
I don't know that was, I didn't catch that.
No. Well, paying attention to the wrong bits, apparently.
I was keeping notes on the outfits.
No, because I was there's 40 fucking one people. I was trying to just find identifiers to everybody.
Hard.
You know?
Yeah.
But I think I've only, watched this once. That like the one who kind of went into that. There was one person hiding under a desk. She goes in there at night and shines a flashlight on her face with that creepy ass smile. She has she has the scythe weapon or whatever. It cuts the girl's throat.
Right.
She's the one who gets killed by the super bad dude with the main bad, at the end.
But up until then, it seems like she's also kind of super bad herself.
Yeah.
Like,
but she's just a regular classmate. She just happens to be like totally evil,
like fucked up,
completely
fucked up. Yeah.
Well, she's had this horrible dark past too, which they allude to in the movie. It's even much worse in the book.
That also seemed like something out of Kill Bill. That whole flashback scene, right?
Oh
there.
yeah.
Because doesn't that exact same thing happen when it goes to like a cartoon of what happened to Oren Ishii, the what's her name character, and like Tarantino. He's like, I wish I made this. I didn't, so I'm just going to steal it. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. I mean, plus it wasn't not a very American audience either when it came out. I would think.
Well, it was banned here for a while.
I would imagine. Yeah,
it was banned in a lot of places.
Yeah.
But it made a lot of money. It made was it $30 million and a $4.5
million
budget?
There's a 2. There's a second one.
Yep.
I heard the second one was pretty bad. Did you watch it?
I'm sure it is. How can you top? How can you top this one? You know.
Yeah.
So this director Kinji Fukasaku, his son wrote the screenplay.
Oh, nice.
Oh, and then he was put into like a mental ward or what? I mean, Jesus Christ.
No, he died of colon cancer 2 years later. So he was working on the second one.
Oh, the director did?
The director
did or the son did?
So the director was 70 years old. Kinji Fukasaku, 70 years old. He made 60 movies previous to this. This was his last movie. He was making the second one with his son, who wrote both screenplays, when he died of colon cancer in 2003.
Oh, man, that's crazy.
And then the son took over directing responsibilities and finished the second one.
And that's why it's probably no good.
Probably.
Maybe. Or
this guy was
it also
70,
it didn't have the book to inspire it either. So, I mean, so maybe wherever they went with that having the book as the source.
Yeah.
True.
I think if Tarantino is talking about, he's like, old directors lose their spunk or whatever when they get old, and I don't want to do that. That's his reasoning behind.
Has he been saying that?
That's
like
what he's been saying. He's like, I'm
early?
only doing 10 because old directors suck, is basically what he says. This guy was 70, and it made his favorite movie ever, Tarantino.
Hey, well,
so there you go. Suck it.
Yeah.
The fuck do you know?
It's too bad Tarantino doesn't listen to us. Otherwise, he might have
That's true.
a little bit of an
I bet I wouldn't be surprised at all. He's just going to love movies. How is he going to not make movies? I don't know. What's he going to do with himself? But yeah.
TV shows.
Just talk. Lots of talk. Lots of commentary.
Start publishing his film criticism.
Oh,
maybe,
yeah.
But I don't know. He's got a lot of it.
So yeah, I agree with TC that the moments where it tries to like make you care for the characters, I didn't dislike it totally, but certainly not what I was paying attention to in this movie. Like I didn't give two shits about even the main character. No. You know, I didn't care about him. I was actually confused about the beginning because in the very beginning they show the winner ceremony, right? There's a bunch of news people and the people that are running the cameras are like, they're like, a woman won or whatever.
That is my guess, because it describes this in the book that he's seeing when he's a younger kid. He sees this.
Who's he?
He has this sort of impression. The main character, he has this impression of the winner from one of the battle royales.
Oh, that's super confusing because I thought that was spoiling the ending where it showed us who was going to win, and I thought one of the girls was going to win the entire time. And then it was just the one girl who didn't look like her at the end, and I was like, what was that beginning about?
There are some parts here that feel not like there could have been some more editing or something, or there was some chopped up stuff. I don't know. The sequence with the guy, with the teacher that comes back in and what the hell is going with all of that seems very strange and hard to understand.
Wait, like you're talking about the exposition scene where they explain all the rules?
No, where he comes and hands her the umbrella and walks away.
Yeah.
and then he's all of a sudden wanting them to shoot. I mean, it just that stuff all seems quite strange.
Doesn't he have like an ice cream cone with like one of the girls too at the end, just like walking around in the shoreline?
Yeah, that's like a dream sequence. I think that one's like maybe a dream sequence, but where he's like. But anyway, it's a little strange towards the end there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's strange all the way down.
It's 100% strange.
Strange in a different way, I guess. This is just
This movie is so weird, though. I kind of excused everything like that.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, well, we still have 25 people left to kill. It's going to get back to the killing pretty soon.
This is probably why I liked it so much. You don't have to pay attention at all.
Teenage violence. That's true. Everything's off the rails. You don't have to be, hey, wait a minute.
You don't have to be trying to piece together shit. You just got to watch people die.
Yeah.
It's great.
I want a term for what's a good term for if you have a movie. And because it's either silly or stupid or whatever, it takes you along for a ride, you don't sit there and question it. And I don't know what a good word for that is. But
that'd be a good thing to have a word for.
I'd like it. Otherwise, I have to do a stupid impression of somebody going, yay, wait a minute, every time. It was maybe almost funny once, but I can't keep doing that.
I can't keep this up. Can't keep this joke up.
Like, not every movie needs to be good at everything that critics like all the time to be good. You can just be good at one thing, like killing teenagers.
Like
do that really well. Good movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Like neck back, blood out.
Yeah.
Part of it is if a movie's not trying to be like fucking Braveheart, where it's like, this is really history, even though people will tell you it's not history or whatever. Then it's really fucking annoying. But it's the movies clearly doesn't take itself seriously, so you don't have to take it seriously, you know.
I think it kind of took itself seriously a little bit.
Well, in parts it did, I think.
Like the acting, I don't think the acting was like B movie acting.
No, it's not. Right? It's not camp. You're right. It's not camp.
That scene where they get poisoned and then they start screaming at each other with the machine guns and they have the shootout there. That was fucking intense.
That was heavy.
Yeah,
that was very Tarantino.
True.
Also, that one I thought was also very like I could see that. I could see Tarantino going, "God damn it, I would have done that one.
I would have killed that scene."
I think this guy did a pretty good job, though, at like the escalation and all that. Like that scene stood out as one of the highlights of the movie.
Yeah, I agree. That was probably, I think, one of the best ones in terms of just the tension. Some of the other scenes with the main bad guy were also pretty darn good.
The scene where the main bad guy killed like 4 people in the beginning with the machine gun, like in a second, I was like, oh shit.
When they thought they were his buddies or something, right? Or
no, they had him like prisoner, but he tackled the guy with a good weapon or something.
No, that's true, right? They were like a family, or they were like a gang, and they thought that they had him at their advantage, and that was a good scene too. It might be interesting to read that. So then the next thing this author did was went and wrote manga about like they had 10 books, comic books.
So this was a book first. Was
it was a book first?
Yeah.
Then the movie, then the manga comes out. 10,
and then the video games.
Right. Are there video games?
I love how the video games copied the whole idea.
Not a real battle royale, but once Player on Battlegrounds did that, and then everybody else just started doing it.
Well, it's called Battle Royale as the game mode.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
well, that in Fortnite, I don't think PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. It was called. I thought it was. I don't know that game, but I thought that was the first one to do it, and it was Battlegrounds. I don't think it was called Battle Royale there. I don't know. Maybe it was.
In Fortnite, it's called Battle Royale. That's all I know.
Yeah, I know, but that was their. They came on.
And then Call of Duty.
And then Call of Duty did it, and possibly.
But
Halo's
it's all the same, right? They
it.
give you one gun or one weapon, and then you got to go Scourge.
Yeah, you got to run to like the good spots.
You have a shrinking. Have you ever played it, Denny? You have like a shrinking field.
Oh, Denny's
I've played Warzone a lot. That's to say, the gas
Yeah.
cloud comes in and it like forces everyone into like a tiny spot at the end.
Yeah.
But for most of it, you can actually just like lay in the field and
Right.
just chill
And
out
wait.
for 45
It
minutes.
is chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun. That's been the pandemic game of choice for my group of video game friends online.
Nice.
I'm sick of it, but they're not. One map. It's one freaking
It's
map.
one friggin' map.
Yeah.
On freaking ever shrinking map.
Yeah.
Come on.
They actually updated the map. They had this like a big update where it was going to be a new map, and all they did was reskin the exact same map.
Oh,
yeah.
That's
Look,
Look,
got
it's
brutal.
pissed.
green now. It's green, not brown.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
It's new, I swear. I stopped
There's no
playing
other
that.
games. It's the pandemic. There's no new games coming out. You're going to keep playing this. We don't need to do shit.
They're coming. That's fair. They're coming back now.
They
the
are.
games are coming.
Yeah. What are we talking about? Movies?
I don't know.
I don't know.
We went
Other
into video
things.
games because we ran out of shit to talk about in the movie.
So, John, it sounds like you, same kind of page? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't hate it, and I thought it was amusing. I just wanted to not take it seriously, even like so. I agree, like there were dramatic moments, but I was just like, I didn't let it like I didn't take it seriously myself.
Yeah,
even if the
not
film was doing
necessary
it.
to take it seriously whatsoever.
Yeah, and parts of the film did, especially that one scene, which is not in the book at all. The scene where the girl's doing the video introduction, which was great. I thought I would have liked to see more. I thought it would have been kind of nice to see a lot more of that in this film. Just
think it
this
was
sort of crazy.
Yeah. That one scene, that videotape, made me appreciate the movie a lot more than I would have without it, I think. It changed
Like you're
the
not
tone of
happy
the
to
entire
be
thing.
here? Why aren't
Yeah.
you happy to be here? Right?
I think if there was just more of that, that would have been pretty
Like,
funny.
you should be excited.
Like they
It's
should
about
just
to
have
be
TV
Battle
screens
Royale.
around outside where they project that.
Or
Yeah.
even like that's also how they're presenting the the reporters are like that. Like if all of the authority figures were kind of like that or their attitude was like that, I think that would have been really it would have made the film just funnier and crazier and in a way maybe scarier. I don't know, but I just like the sort of like that choice to do that video that way because again the book doesn't do that at all. They just have the same and it's darker. The book is
That one scene made me okay with laughing at all the violence. If that scene wasn't there, I would have felt, I'd be like, I can't enjoy this. This is kids dying. What the fuck?
Yeah,
exactly.
right.
I agree. I think it helped a lot to sort of like make this even more surreal, so that it starts to feel like a horror movie. Where once you're in a real horror movie, you know it might be scary, but you're not necessarily taking it seriously.
True.
But yeah.
You're allowed to just watch the gore and be like, this is just
Right.
for the movie. It's fine.
Right. Like, and what we'll watch, Evil Dead 2 is going to be even more of that, which is great. Like Evil Dead is so enjoyable because it does this horror movie the way, it's completely like laughing about it too.
Yeah, we're front loading the happy horror movies here in the
I
beginning.
want more happy horror. I like the happy horror.
Disgusting, depraved horror.
Yeah.
This one just has moments of happy. I don't know.
There's got to be a word too where you can just enjoy something that's disgusting. I don't know what that is
Yeah.
either.
Denny.
This movie lets you do it.
yeah.
Like sometimes if you showed the same footage in a different movie with different context, it would be unacceptable and possibly I would agree that it should be banned in certain countries. But the way it presents it makes it fun to watch. I don't know what the difference is.
No, and again, it is very stylized violence, like the way Tarantino does it too. There are scenes that are really well done. So it's and it's so over the top. If for nothing else, just because of the number of people that die, then it's just sort of
And the countdown thing really helps.
Right.
It's like it's just like everyone's gonna die. We're gonna help you keep count here.
And they all have numbers, and they're like all numbered too. And again, the book does this too. So this is all from the book where they every student that's introduced, it's like student number 1 or boy number 1 or boy number 3 or whatever. And then every chapter is in the book is titled, like chapter 4, 35 students left or whatever. So the book really lays that out too. It's kind of interesting. It had been sort of neat to read the book before seeing the movie in a sense, just because there's
no, you got to get out of the habit of that. This
uniqueness.
is a movie podcast, John. It ruins your viewing experience every time.
Watch the movie first.
Yeah.
You're right.
You can't cheat, learn about the movie, and then fill in the gaps, and then be confused when you're talking about us whether or not the movie was good or not.
I've only got a week.
That's a fair point.
Wait, but you have a week and the same amount of hours. You watch the movie first and then spend your extra hours.
I don't know when I can do. I don't know when I can do different things.
That's a good point.
I don't know when I can do different things. So, and besides,
that's a great sentence. I like that.
Yeah.
I don't know when I can do different things. I don't know. Like I'm responsible.
I get the kids to bed and I'm laying in bed at night. Then I have more time to do the book reading, and I also know I've got to put in a lot more time to get through the book than I can sit down and do the movie. So I try to get a head start on the book because I know the book is going to take me a lot longer. So I try to get a certain amount through the book, whatever book I'm reading. But yeah.
I don't buy it. It sounds like a bunch of hogwash.
Try working as hard as I can.
I don't know.
Should front load it.
Yeah, I should try. Maybe. I don't know. Sometimes I like having the book. It gives me more context sometimes. I enjoy the movies better.
Yeah, but it's unfair because then me and TC come in hot with complaints and you're like, no, it's because it's historically accurate. And we're like, well, we didn't fucking know that.
Well, I would know that regardless of what order I read it.
Right.
You want me to stop reading the books? Yeah. Order doesn't matter there.
Yes, it does. Because then you could say, well, you're right. I felt like that when I watched the movie first, but I read the book after, and it was historically.
Case in point, you enjoyed Citizen Kane slightly. It's only because you read the book.
Terrible.
There's no way that would have happened if you hadn't read the book.
And I appreciate that I enjoyed it more.
But I'm telling you, me and TC do not appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Stop being so selfish, John. God damn it.
Nope. You're going to have to suffer through that. I'm going to take whatever I can get.
Yeah, right.
If I decide I want to read the book first, I'm going to read the book first.
I don't know when I can do things.
Such a sad, desperate cry.
It is. There. It's so all-encompassing, too. Ooh, what is that, a restroom? I got to go in there. I don't know when I can do things.
I don't know when I can do things. I don't know when I'm going to try. I'm going to have a snack now because I don't know when I'll get to eat again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Were you scared at all watching this movie with the little ones around?
No. They were asleep, and I wasn't too scared.
So, were they not asleep when you watched The Clockwork Orange?
They were not.
Okay.
Clockwork, but that one had me even on edge a lot more. Actually,
that's what I'm saying. It's not even close to that level.
No. You'll probably be annoyed with me again. I'll annoy you again. I think I ended up watching it on my phone. But
you're missing out on all the blood squirts.
At least use a tablet.
But with the surround sound earbuds, I've got like the nice AirPods noise canceling, so I got some really good
AirPods.
quality.
There's no low end on those. God damn it, John.
You're right.
Jeez.
I can't make anybody happy. I can't do it.
How many times did people try to call you when you were watching these on your phone with your earbuds in?
No, not very often. No one calls me. I don't have any friends.
I don't know when to do things. Nobody calls me. Somebody help.
This is a telemarketer. I'm lonely watching a movie in my basement.
Hey, telemarketer, you ever watch Battle Royale?
Have you seen Battle Royale?
I have, yeah.
You see Battle Royale? Of course. I'd love to get back to my university. Whatever. Or hear about my car warranty, though it's all automated. They don't talk to you.
Oh boy, it's just.
But you can listen to them, John.
Yeah,
you listen to them. Yeah, they really don't. They really are just automated now. Even the telemarketers don't care.
So I liked it how they use classical music. They got the Blue Danube in there, and I
like that. It's a good choice. If you're not going to do your own score, it works really well. Very stylized. Really, the scenery was great. The
island was cool looking.
The way they shot that, and the way they shot it. And shot the people in the scenes
and shot the people
and how they shot
the way they shot the people getting
the
shot.
Shots of the shots. Yeah. But the cinematography is what I should say was really good. I thought it was really like there's great compositions in terms of like showing the scenery and the people.
The film quality was not great, right? Like
no.
It was kind of grainy and like you could tell they didn't have the lights that bigger productions have.
Should have watched it on your phone. You wouldn't know.
But I agree. No, the compositions were really good. It was extremely watchable. And you could tell they were good at their jobs. I don't know.
Yeah, like that time when they threw the knife and it hit her directly in the eyes, in the head. It was perfect. Yeah, it was perfect.
That was pretty good. When the guy's neck exploded, it looked pretty fucking cool.
Oh, the neck explosion is one of the best.
His head just like whips back.
And also the building tension as his collar's going beep, 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 beep. That was pretty good. Yep. The whole scene was pretty scary. That one was scary. Yep. I didn't like that.
I laughed pretty hard when that guy got stabbed in the nuts over and over again.
Oh, yeah,
I was laughing.
Take that, you son of a bitch.
See, that in the book, that scene was really prolonged. It was uncomfortable. They really went into more detail in that book.
It's great.
In the book, it was awful. No, not just that part, but just how he was in this position of power, and so he was going to use it to get what he wanted.
Yep.
So the movie doesn't do this. I didn't take the movie seriously enough to do this, but what the book does something that's pretty good over and over and over again. It tries to say, like, look, you put people in this position and you don't know what you're going to do or they're going to do. You don't know who's going to basically just decide that they're going to kill other people if that's what it takes for them to survive, or who's going to just really be dark because either they're on a power trip or because awful things have been done to them. And the movie kind of shows that a little bit, but the book goes into more detail about that. And that's, again, a really kind of fascinating thing about the book, because you don't know what people are going to be. Are they nice just because society constrains them? Or what will happen when you're scared? What will you do when you're really, really scared for your own life? Will you kill other people? What will you do? And I think it's really interesting, and the book really puts that stuff a lot better.
I would. I don't want to die. I'll admit it. I would. I don't want to die.
Right. You
I'd do what it takes.
Kill.
Oh, I'd kill.
See?
Yeah.
I'd totally kill. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'd be one of
only if I was 100% positive that I would die. They were given some extreme proof. That was a very good thing in the plot, because they all absolutely knew they weren't fucking around. Right.
Yeah.
They killed a kid, and then they showed that the bracelets or the necklaces worked. So no excuse not to believe that they're all going to die if they don't follow these rules.
So you guys would play the game. You two would.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure I won't, but to try to be fair, I think.
Would you kill yourself, or would you hide and hope that the game shuts down before 3 days?
I think given how I know that I would fail so badly at this, that I'd probably just go kill myself, because I don't think I have much chance.
Less painful than getting stabbed in the nuts over and over again.
At least I'd have some control over that,
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. It's hard to say. And again, I don't think you would know unless you're in that position. What
True.
you would really
you
do.
really wouldn't. Yeah. I might end up just shitting my pants and just sitting there.
I mean, I don't think.
Be like, I can't play. I shit my pants. I don't know what to do.
Time out, guys. Time out.
I crap myself.
You wouldn't shoot a guy with poopy pants, would you?
I can't do stuff. I shit my pants. That kind of thing.
Out of 42 16-year-olds, nobody shot their parents. You just ruined the movie
come on.
for me, TC.
It's got to be fucking. There's got to be. Yeah. There's gotta
unbelievable.
Be poop everywhere.
Oh my God.
I don't know what to do.
I've never been in that. Have either of you guys been in a life-threatening situation even?
Yeah.
Like that? Like where you thought like your life was being threatened by another person?
Yeah. I've been around a gun, and all I had was a golf club.
Yee.
Didn't know what I was going to do.
I had a crazy homeless guy pull a knife on me, and I just kind of walked away.
All right. I'm just gonna.
I just stiffened up, turned 90 degrees, and just started slowly walking and thinking, I hope he doesn't stab me in the back.
Okay.
Good hope. That's good hope.
Yeah. Avoided the confrontation, I guess.
But yeah, those aren't the same as these situations, which are like someone's telling you to go kill.
Right.
Who knows what I would do in that situation?
Yeah.
It depends on my weapon. If I had the crossbow,
that's a good point. Yeah, if you start off good, then I'm like,
if you start off with the lid pot and the fucking compass,
the binoculars,
the binoculars.
I might go jump off a cliff if I get the lid pot. Jesus,
yeah, the lid pot. Right?
Just fucking end it now.
Yeah. So it depends on the weapon, I suppose.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to do this. This is immoral. Ooh, I got the crossbow.
Yeah. Well, since I have the crossbow. Yeah.
I thought, no one mentioned the grenade in the severed head. Never seen that before. I thought that was excellent.
Oh, yeah.
Toss the head in, got a grenade stuck in the head explodes.
That was creative.
Pretty good
stuff. Yeah.
Remember the reoccurring basketball shit?
Yeah, where they were friends?
Yeah, that was weird, friends? Wasn't it?
Well, because it shows they're all passing the ball to each other, and then they all kill each other. It's like, it's supposed to,
And then the little guy comes in, and the ball reverses, and it bounces back up into his hands for some reason 4 times in the movie.
Yep.
I think I'm just trying to give you this sense of nostalgia about how they were all friends. And
it didn't work. That stuff was like some of the worst parts of the movie.
I know.
Easily excusable because you're like, who cares about this? Fucking get onto it. Come on.
So what? You were friends. Kill each other already. The hell's the matter with you?
Exactly. This is what I'm
Hurry
telling
up.
you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I guess you might need breathers. I don't know though. What would the edit be like if it just removed all the story stuff and it was just the violence
murder?
Stuff?
I don't know.
Bloody murder.
Even the book is a little slow in that way, and I didn't really buy a lot of the sentimentality that was there. I do think, and not that I necessarily recommend this, but if I read this as like a teenager, I would have probably loved this. I think I would have really thought this was deep and scary and all of that at the same time. But I don't know for sure. But I wouldn't have been. I don't know.
Deep?
I wouldn't be surprised. Well, kind of just sentimental and emotional about how they had these friendships and about how people turn on each other and how you don't know what's going to happen. There were still good guys that were trying to do and girls that were trying to do the right thing or trying to fight against it. But then there were people who were just like either because they were scared or because just
because they were psychos, sense. They were just ready for it.
Because they had a really rough past and were treated like shit by other people, so they're fine. I can do this.
Yeah, I'll get back at these sons of bitches.
Or like the main bad guy who is just a sociopath. There's that, where he's just like, I'm just crazy, so this is okay with me anyway. But yeah,
like the people who still find American Beauty deep, that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, I thought it was deep then, so yeah. I thought it was deep when I was a teenager.
I watched this one when I was much younger, so maybe I thought it was deep, which is why I was like, let's watch it again.
Well,
so
also
now that you've seen it 6 times,
early on, though, it might have been really cutting edge, like. We're watching this really controversial film.
Oh, yeah.
This is
She's going to stab him in the nuts.
Sure. I can see why this movie might be, I'm surprised it's like so available now. It's like, it's fine to watch this movie now.
It seems like this is a style of film, like with Tarantino's films and what, I mean, seemed like, it wasn't long before there was a lot of violent films and it's just like, it's the way things are now. It's okay.
But TC, you've seen this like 6 times now.
I've seen it probably.
This is probably the most you've seen any movie.
Pretty much.
And
I think it was because like I had to show other people like, no, you guys don't understand. You know what like one of those things. Like we got to watch this, and then I have to watch it again because my other friend would want to see it.
Did you ever have it in those cases? Did your friends all react in a positive manner?
Oh yeah, come on.
Like,
TC's
like fucked up, dude.
Yeah, I'm fucked up. I only have
and your friends are all fucked up.
Yeah, right. So like they were on board, of course.
Right.
But are you feeling the same way now after watching it now?
Oh yeah, I'd watch it again.
Nice. I would too, dude. I am glad I own it. I'm definitely going to watch this movie.
Yeah, we should throw this up on your backyard fucking projector.
Yeah, turn the volume up super high. Cops will be there in 15 minutes.
Yeah, the kids will be watching from the windows across the way. Like, what the fuck is that?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll get the HOA upset.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the last thing in the movie I wanted to mention was the last line was really confusing. It was like the third Requiem, the scene I mentioned earlier where he's like walking down a beach with or a rocky shoreline.
What's an adult supposed to say to a kid?
Yeah. What is that?
It's a pedo thing, I think. I don't know.
Is it? That's where my mind went, but I was just...
The Requiem things are weird. I don't know if these are like...
I think he's got a crush on the kid.
If those were just like... Were these like just extended scenes that they just wanted to put in? Or
which kid was that? Was that the surviving girl at the end?
That was the surviving girl, yeah.
But he's dead. Who's having the dream?
Well, she is.
She's having the dream about the old guy? Yeah. He was the guy that put her in the situation where everybody fucking died. Why would she be having fantasies about this guy?
I don't know.
I thought he was having fantasies about her.
But he was dead.
Oh.
Yeah, but I mean, he could be having, post.
But these are flashbacks to when he was alive.
Like American Beauty, Still kind of alive.
Right.
Yeah, because he could have might as well have said, "You'll find out," or whatever the fuck it is that they say in American Beauty. Yeah. Someday. He said the same thing.
She did want to keep a little secret. That's, kind of creepy.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy. Yeah, I just was confused. I was like, what is there? And then it ended there.
When that last one went this time again, I watched it, and this time I was like, what was that about?
Yeah, I still don't understand that. I still feel like those were extended scenes. I just feel like those were like...
well, it's Requiem, whatever that
is. It's weird because I think the movie ends where... And that's where the book ends, where the movie ends, where they say like, they're two, but you're part of them now or something like that, however it ends. That's how the book ends exactly, too. There's not this other stuff. It feels like, here's scenes that didn't make it. So we're just going to put them in.
That is how it felt. Yeah. Seemed very out of place. I do have trivia, John, but do you want to do book corner? You read the book, some of it?
Yeah. Yep. So if you really love the movie, I mean, the book's readable. It has sort of a young adult feel.
Can't be young adults if there's nut stabbing scenes that's longer and more gruesome than this movie.
Well, yeah. But it could be. Just the tone of the writing just feels a little
16
bit.
plus, you can handle that.
A little bit like younger adolescent kind of stuff. So there's a lot about how it's a fascist state, basically. The movie doesn't really hit on this as much, but it's like the East Asia Empire is this fascist empire. The movie does not hit on why or what the purpose of the game is. The book at one point really says
I think it does, doesn't it? Don't they say it's because the kids are out of control? And they need like discipline to like
sort of. It oddly hints it's like that like the kids are out of control and the society is like in a mess, and that they're doing this to somehow keep the kids in line. It's really odd. It's not really said very explicitly.
Yeah, that's kind of vaguely what I.
It's vaguely
remember,
in the book. This is actually a really successful empire. It's doing well. Everybody's pretty prosperous. That these games are designed to make sure people don't trust each other. Is what they say in the book. Like this is to prove a lesson that you shouldn't trust anybody, because if you band together and trust each other, then you could fight the system. So the idea is that this is a lesson for the people. Is that we
already the book is better than the movie.
Yeah, right.
So that's I thought that was a good.
They could have done
idea.
that in like a 1 minute scene in this movie, and it would have been awesome. I'm surprised they didn't do that.
There's weird
They
things
just wanted to
about
get
this
to the
movie.
killing.
I guess so. Yeah, focus on the one thing.
Yeah.
But there's other things they do in the movie that are odd, just like sort of having this sympathetic coach guy, like, or he's wanting to be killed. That whole part was weird. And that's
I laughed
not in
at the
the book
squirt
at all.
gun though. I thought the whole last scene was great.
That was great.
Yeah. Oh, really? I just thought it was weird. I didn't get it.
I thought it was weird. That's why I was laughing.
I guess you're laughing, but I didn't understand that character at all. I didn't know what
I didn't either,
was.
but I thought it was funny how he was guarding the cookies. Like I laughed whenever he'd slap the dude's hand away. Thought all that was pretty good.
In the book, and again, spoilers for the book. If anybody wants to read the book, if you really love the movie, I'd recommend reading the book. It's hard to find. I couldn't like directly buy the book without like waiting for like 3 weeks. I actually ended up finding a PDF of it on the Internet Archive. It went to the library. I couldn't find it easily.
You're saying the library doesn't carry Battle Royale, the Japanese book about children killing each other? Is that what you're saying?
It's a popular science fiction novel, so it's out there. I saw it at the bookstore a lot. Like I often like thought about buying this one like 3 or 4 years ago because it's popular in there in the science fiction section. But I couldn't find it even at my local bookstore, so it was a little bit hard to find. There's a remastered version of the book. It's called Battle Royale Remastered. I have no idea what that is.
How do you remaster a book?
I don't know. My guess would be maybe a different translation. But I don't know. But anyway, early on, his friend. So a couple things happen early on. Is the teacher coach guy explicitly talks about. So there's like the one of the caretakers of the orphanage that the two boys are from. The main guy Shuya and his buddy. And he talks about how he rapes, like one of the people that was in charge there. He talks about how the coach or teacher guy there, he talks about how he raped her because she was upset that they were part of this program. And he goes into explicit detail about it. And that's what kicks off his friend who ends up getting killed. He doesn't do that in the movie where his friend is one who has the collar activated early on.
So the coach guy is in no way sympathetic in the book at all.
No.
That's a pretty strange change.
Yeah, it is. I think it's interesting. But
I kind of appreciate that they went the movie's way because again, that would kick it into like an unfunny territory, right?
Maybe, but man, the book has some really kick-ass scenes at the end, which would have been great. There's like a whole car chase scene that I think would have been really good, where the bad guy, the main bad guy, and our heroes are like chasing each other in cars. That I think would have, again, with a bigger budget.
That's a budget thing, yeah, really for sure.
But there's also like the way the book ends. So I can describe this now because we're already going to have our hour. I don't need to go into too much detail about the book, really. But the way the book ends,
we're not just getting. It's not the only point.
He's right.
He's right.
He's right.
Oh, TC's tired. All right, here we go.
Yeah, I'm working. I don't want to go too long. But the way the book ends, which I really liked, is that. Fuck off. So there's a couple of things. One thing about the movie, it's not clear how Shogo deactivates their collars.
Nope,
at all.
very confusing.
Like that is like completely
got a
unclear.
remote.
I thought he killed them for the longest time at the end until they show up alive again.
And even when they show up alive, there's no explanation as to how he worked that out.
The Wikipedia page says that he hacked into the system and deactivated it, but I was like, wait, when did that happen? I'm pretty sure I didn't see that happen.
In the book,
no,
Shogo,
if you go to the Wikipedia, the movie Wikipedia page explains it away with that.
Yeah.
So,
but in the book, Shogo, before he entered the second games, he went and hacked into their system and figured out how the collars worked.
And he's not the guy in the movie who figured out how the collars worked separately.
Right.
That ended up dying.
Right.
He's the bandana guy.
Yeah. Shogo is the bandana kid. The other kid was there also in the book who was trying to hack the system actively, and he ends up dying in a similar way. But he doesn't successfully pull it off. So Shogo, who's the survivor of the last one, hacked the system. That's how he knew how the collars worked. So he was going to wait until there were just 3 of them. And the other part of his plan, and again, total spoilers for the book, because this is kind of a pretty cool ending of the book. You don't know. You think that they died too for a while. Well, first, what the book lets you think is that they didn't die, but then Shogo gets on the boat with the main bad guy, coach, whatever, the teacher. And the teacher sits him down and says, we know you hacked into our system. We know you tried to save those 2. We're poison gassing the island right now so that they're going to die. So the book leads you to believe, Shogo thought that they had escaped, and he's like, we knew you were doing this all along, so we got you.
Dumb kid.
We're gonna kill you right now. But what it turns out is Shogo knew they would do this as well, so he deactivated their collars, and he had
double
Shuya.
cross.
It was the double cross. He had Shuya and Noriko hide on the boat. They told him where the boat would be, that they would need to hide and wait for the time to strike. And so Shuya and Noriko come in and basically kill
stab the coach
everybody.
in the nuts 17 times.
More or less. They shoot him up. So it was a good. Shogo still ends up dying from his wounds, but which is too bad. But I like that ending better. I just thought that would have made a great movie sequence. I thought. I think that would have been really well done. They could have really played that up with Shogo and the teacher in the room, and the teacher saying, "We know what you did." And Shogo in the book is also like, "Oh God, they found me out." You're not let known as the reader that Shogo actually knows that the other 2 kids are on the boat with him. I think that could have been played out really well in the movie too. So I don't know.
To give the movie credit, I think my favorite part of the movie, or at least tied for my favorite on the first viewing, was watching him get up when I thought he was dead and going to answer his phone.
And talk to his phone.
I was in so much
his wife
shock.
off.
And I was like, what the hell is going on? And it was just fun. And then he falls over and I start laughing. I'm like, holy shit, this movie is insane.
It's a good cookie.
I love this.
Yeah.
Right. Highlight.
So anyway, that's all I got from the book. I mean, I had more, but we're already doing good on time. So
look at John. He's like he's thinking about the
He's
time.
a master of timing.
Yeah.
Try it and your boredom. I mean, I don't want to.
Right.
That was good.
Yeah. No, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
So you should read the book. I mean, it's a quick. It's not a bad read. So if you really like this, you should pick it up if you can find it.
Yeah. I'm not going to do that, but I'll watch it again for
it's
a 7th time.
It's your favorite.
I might do it in a while.
Yeah, right.
I'd still say if you were going to pick up one movie book, it would still be Das Boot. Still far and away the best one that I've read as far as the movie related. But anyway.
Nice. So this movie, if you buy the DVD, it comes with a sequel, which I haven't watched and probably won't because it's not
you
free.
should. It could be good. Maybe.
Take this. No, I don't want it. No, take it. Anyway.
They gave it to me for free. It can't be that good.
Yeah, I know. Right.
Yeah.
But the special features were kind of weird. There's no commentary or anything. There was a 50-minute, they called it the making of, but all it really was unorganized behind the scenes shots. It was medium, I would say. If you're a huge fan of this movie, go ahead and watch it because some of the stuff they show is pretty cool. Specifically the stunt stuff and the director. He's like a 70-year-old dude who wears a bandana and wears a wife beater all over the place.
Oh, wow.
And he seems like a pretty good director. Like he dealt with massive groups of child actors in this movie, and all the kids had to scream and be afraid. And
melodrama aside, they're all on. They're all working.
They are, and
it's looking good.
The most interesting part of it was specifically they showed a lot of behind the scenes for that kitchen scene with the poisoning and the shootout.
Yeah,
and him just directing all the girls in that scene, and he would go in there and show them exactly what he wanted. Like there was a scene where she takes the pot and throws it against the table. And they have take after take of her doing that, and he wants more out of it. So he'd go and throw the pot, and it would be empty at this point. So the rehearsals were empty pot, and then once they had that, they would fill the pot up, and then they would shoot, and it came out perfectly. And this dude's a weirdo. They would have some intense, violent scenes, and he got all the actors somehow, all these child actors, to scream and look scared and act seriously. And as soon as they yelled "cut," he would start laughing in the background, and that would mean that it was a good take to him,
right,
yeah.
Which is just the weirdest thing. He must have been a weird dude, but you
really?
would always hear
I don't know. Maybe he's weird, but maybe it's just the utter silliness of it all might just
Tarantino
be. I don't
doesn't
know.
do that. No director.
But it's kind of cool though because it also affirms
it might
our
lighten the mood.
It affirms our take on it because if he's laughing when they're supposed to be serious, it's a joke, right? That means it works.
I mean, he's maybe. I'm not surprised if he's thinking this is the craziest shit I've ever done.
That too.
I mean, just like I can't even. They're not going to let me.
For this.
They're not going to let me publish this. This is hilarious. I don't know.
Maybe that's
that
it.
too.
Yeah,
that too.
But all the kids, like, it was weird too because like you'd watch these kid actors in the rehearsals. They would like he'd go in and be like, you have to scream it louder, like do it louder, and they'd scream, and they would look scared. And then they would fuck up like halfway through and they'd immediately start laughing like in the take, you know?
Well, sure.
They're not going
so
method where they're getting to a state.
Well, they're kids. I mean, were these kids, were they in their teens?
They were like,
because that's unusual, right? Like in Hollywood, they would be like people in their 20s trying to look like they're little or something, partially because you can't control teenagers. Right.
There was one guy they interviewed that looked like he was 20 years old and he was the oldest person there. And he was like, I was the oldest person and I felt it because I had all these like people that seemed like kids. They were all like 16 years old. So he tried to like be a mentor to them. But part of this behind the scenes thing is like the camera person would go up and interview the kids behind the scenes, just be like, hey, ask them like teenager questions. Like, what would you do if you were in this situation? And most of the kids sat like all of a sudden sounded like actual teenagers. And they'd be like, oh, I think I would just hide. And you're like, oh, they're awkward teens. Somehow this director like got them to shoot up all of their friends and scream at the top of their lungs.
And again, I know hearing that is, it kind of I haven't really thought of appreciating it as young as these kids are. And it's such an ensemble sort of thing, how well it's done. Nobody's sticking out or seeming, it's kind of amazing that when you think about it. I would
recommend watching the behind the scenes. Like there's the scene where the girl in the Kill Bill yellow banana jumpsuit thing finally gets the drop on that rapist dude, and she like takes a knife out and flips the knife open and just like looks really seriously and delivers a line.
Seriously, Adam? Yeah.
She's a really good actor just because like you see her practicing with the knife and she keeps fucking it up, and every time she fucks it up, she giggles, and even when she gets it right, she's giggling. But then like they like go to the scene and all they're doing is showing her practice with the knife and making the face. But then they go to like the first take of her doing it. She tries way harder with the knife. It works. And then she delivers like super serious lines with like a pretty cool looking badass face on. And you're like, damn, this person's like 16 years old. That's pretty fucking good.
She's doing it. Yeah. It was creepy.
A lot of that stuff. And the kids would do their own stunts too. A lot of the explosions and fires and all of that stuff were real. They weren't CG. The grenade blowing up the house and the kid flying out the window, that was filmed. It was a 16-year-old kid doing stunts.
You know, even if Tarantino wanted to do this film, he couldn't.
Right. You'd have to hire 18-year-old people, at least.
You'd have to, for starters, yeah. You'd have to make it like, it'd be like college, right? Which it might lose some of its oddness if they're older. But yeah.
Yeah, and where in Hollywood do you find 42 kids? They're all going to be like the kids of like rich people, and it's going to cost way too much money to hire all those people.
That's true. Holy cow.
It's pretty unique, yeah. I don't think a movie like this exists.
Yeah.
No.
Just fake ones. Just the Hunger Games.
Lord of the Flies, whatever.
Not like
I haven't seen. There was a Lord of the Flies movie.
Yeah, but that wasn't too violent.
Ago,
and Hunger Games had like people dying, but it was PG-13.
It was also stylized.
And they were also like 25 years old in that movie.
Right, exactly.
Oh, somebody had a 15th birthday party on set. So that's how old these people were. There was a 14-year-old in the cast of people. Some of the best parts too are like all these people would just be walking off set for lunch and they would just be covered in blood, like head to toe, covered in blood, sitting on a stoop outside of like a studio. It looks like a Hollywood studio outside of a big warehouse thing, just covered in blood, eating sandwiches. And then they'd come up and be like, how are you guys doing? They're like, oh, pretty good. You're like, Jesus Christ.
That's so
weird.
It's so weird. Yeah, that is really strange. And it's like normal on the set. Yeah. Because it's like what they do, right? So it's just weird.
And it seems like they're all pretty friendly with each other. It's weird too, because like when I was watching it, I was like, I wonder how this Sid Vicious looking guy, who's like the most evil guy in the movie, got along with the rest of them, because he's the outcast bad guy,
Right.
But he was the same.
Normal.
He was the same as everyone else. He just looked a little bit different because his hair and his.
It's just their part.
Right. But again, he did the sociopath look really well. He was creepy. He was scary.
He did.
Again, same with the girl who when she was in her creepy moments, she was really good.
A lot of the inside shots were in sets. I think every inside shot was in a set, but then for all the outside shots, they went to the Izu Islands. It's an island in Japan, so they filmed on location. I guess it's pretty obvious because that looked real. It looked like just
right. Like you can't fake that.
Yeah. They did a lot of night filming there. This is pretty obvious. Usually this is good trivia, but you can just tell that it's
Yeah.
filmed
They did
at night
it
on an island.
filming.
Yeah.
They went to an island.
Sometimes
there
you
was a
can't tell,
boat.
but this one's like
Yeah.
so guerrilla style almost. It's so gritty that like you
Yeah.
couldn't put special effects in to trick you, right? It is what it is. You're being shown what it is on the screen.
How many days of shooting was there? Were they like plagued by weather or anything? Because man, it seemed so well done.
So the documentary thing, whatever you call it, didn't have a narrative to it. It was kind of just like what you could piece together yourself watching the footage sort of thing. So I don't know. I do know the budget was $4.5 million. So
Yeah, it
that's
doesn't
a
seem
lot.
very high.
No,
I mean, it doesn't
seems
really.
like a lot.
Seems
Yeah.
like, I don't know, I guess.
for a Japanese movie, that's a lot. But it also like for a while, it was one of the top 10 highest grossing Japanese movies of all time.
Damn.
Controversy sells, as we all know.
Yeah.
So this is a sad one, kind of. This is the last piece of trivia I have. This director, the reason he took on this project is because when he was 16 years old, World War II was ending. And at that point in Japan in World War II, they took all the kids of his age out of school and put them to work in factories, making guns and doing war type shit. And, towards the end of the war, when Japan was getting bombed, the factory he was working in was getting bombed, and all of the kids ran out and jumped into holes in the ground. And all of the kids at the bottom of the holes survived. And all the kids that were at the top who were exposed to the air died. And everybody, while the bombing was happening, the kids were trying to like crawl towards the bottom of the hole. So he survived. And this movie is a metaphor for this is a super anti-Japan movie because he blames Japan for putting him to work when he was a teenager. And to him, this is kind of representation of like, this country makes children fight to the death to survive, which is exactly what happened to him. So to him, there's a lot of meaning in this movie.
Wow.
Shit.
So, yeah.
What a way to end the fucking trivia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And ended his movie career. He did 60 movies, and this was his last one.
Well, it didn't end his career. I mean, he could have. I'm sure if he hadn't died, I bet he could have done more.
True, but this was the last movie in his career, so it's just nice that it's like
this is probably his most successful movie. Did he get to like live long enough to see its success? Because
we got to make a sequel.
The second one, so yeah. So he at least got to know that it was very successful.
Yep, it won. It got like nominated for the Japanese Oscars, whatever the equivalent there is.
Mm-hmm.
So it was well appreciated, even though it was getting banned left and right. So there was just like different camps of like,
when you get banned, you know you're doing something right.
Exactly. Yeah. So he knew, just cancer, man, fucking cancer.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that one on a downer, guys.
That's right.
So how about
it
that?
wouldn't be Halloween weekend if it wasn't scary things.
Yeah.
Top 250, abso-freaking-lutely.
Yes.
There's nothing like this, and this movie was awesome.
Johnny's gonna go no.
Yeah, I think so.
Nice.
Oh, okay, yay, that's a 3-fer.
That's a 3-fer. Thanks for the recommendation, TC.
Good choice, TC.
Outstanding recommendation.
I got one in there.
I'm going to be recommending this.
Get those stuff.
I can't wait to recommend this to my friends and then have them come back to me 2 weeks later and be like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%.
And then I'll laugh at them and be like, it was good though, right?
Especially like dudes, and then they got girlfriends that don't care for this shit, and they'll watch it together, and it'll be a funny one. That'll be funny.
Dear, I don't think you should hang out with your friend.
Yeah.
Danny
So how long have you known Danny again? Yeah. Well, it was a Terrence. It was a Terrence pick.
No, we're not going out for sushi with him ever again.
I live for that shit. I can't wait.
Just tell him to blame it on me because I'm the one that brought it up.
Yeah. Well, I'll definitely. Realistically, there's going to be a disclaimer.
Yeah. Well, just so you know, this guy gets stabbed in the nuts. But anyways, top 250, yes.
Top 250, yes.
What are we doing next week?
Next week, we're keeping this train rolling. We're going to watch Evil Dead 2, which was made in 1987. Hey. This is a Sam Raimi written and directed, and also Scott Spiegel wrote it as well. Bruce Campbell.
All right.
The synopsis is...
I'm looking forward to this.
The lone survivor...
Have you seen this?
I have not seen it, no.
Oh, wow.
I'm as excited for you as you were for me before this one.
Oh, that's good.
The lone survivor of an onslaught of flesh-possessing spirits holes up in a cabin with a group of strangers while the demons continue their attack.
All right. Looking forward to it.
Buddy.
Right.
So make sure you watch Evil Dead 2. There's a few of these, TC.
I will.
There's Evil Dead 1. There's Evil Dead 2.
I will rent
Darkness.
it or purchase it or something.
And then there's
Evil Dead. The Evil Dead. And then there's Ash versus the Evil Dead.
Evil Dead 2.
Yes.
Right. You want Evil Dead 2.
1987. Right. Yeah, just be aware. Because you made a little...
I fucked it up in the past.
Before. I just want to make sure you watch the right one.
100%. No, it's fair. It's fair. It's smart to remind.
Yeah.
There you go.
Let's do that one. Happy Halloween, guys. Yeah.
Happy Halloween.
We'll see you next week.